Greetings, beloved brothers and sisters. I wish to speak with you today about safety. Safety is a big concern for all people who identify with the body. First and foremost, the body is oriented at the direction of the ego to survive at all costs, to stay safe. Once you believe that you are separate from what you see, then the goal is to stay safe. Well, since other people seem to have the capacity to hurt you or to help you, one tactic that the ego takes is to withdraw, is to only connect with people who share your values and who are, as much as possible, like you. And while it feels safe to be around people who agree with you, it actually is a sign of weakness. It's a paradox, I know. In A Course in Miracles, we say that my vulnerability is my strength. But that doesn't seem to make sense in the illusory world where the ego abides. There are people who take this to extreme and say, for me to be safe, I need to be invulnerable. Invulnerable to the whims of government, invulnerable to people who could hurt me. I need to have defenses, stockpile freeze-dried and canned food and water, move away from the cities, and make sure that I'm well armed in case there's an invasion. And while it's possible and probably a good idea to be prepared should things change around you, try to see this as a sign of weakness, not strength. Your strength is your vulnerability. The willingness to trust love in the face of no agreement. If you only connect with people who make you feel safe, the people that you don't connect with will seem threatening. And I'm not saying put yourself in dangerous situations and be foolish. But what I am saying is that there's a tendency of the ego, out of its desire for separation and reinforcing that notion, to take every experience and distance itself from that. I don't know if you've ever had this experience, but every once in a while you'll deeply connect with another human being. You'll be extremely honest, and so will they. And what you get in touch with is a very deep love for them and for yourself. And while that feels wonderful at the time, soon after that, you'll hear a voice that says, wow, that was really incredible. Let's never do this again. What is that about? Vulnerability opening up to love, being completely honest, is threatening to the ego. And so it's willing to let you have a little piece of that, but quickly close the door. Let's not go there again. What I'm advocating is that without being invasive or intrusive with other people, I know there are people who believe that everyone needs a hug and they're going to give you one whether you want one or not. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm advocating is that you, whenever possible, break through that little veneer that happens between people that keeps them separate, that keeps them private. Break through that veneer gently with love. It's a little uncomfortable, but if you smile at people you don't know, if you are loving to people whose values seem very different from yours, if you find what it is you have in common instead of what it is that separates you from them, you will experience, yes, a certain vulnerability. They may reject you. They may not react lovingly and kind. That's a little scary. But if you have the courage to do that, gently, what you will open up is your greatest strength, which is your connectedness with all beings and seeing yourself as one with them. That's where your strength lies. And you do this with love. It doesn't mean being inappropriate. Sometimes intimacy happens from a knowledge of spaces, seeming spaces between people, and respecting those spaces. But gently, with love, you will become stronger and stronger. And that's what you rely on. No longer needing your defenses, no longer reinforcing your invulnerability, but rather allowing love open a pathway for you to walk fearlessly on this earth while this body is here. And it's actually easier than you think. Just a smile, just a willingness to connect, just lightly, will give you the safety that you really want. Love is a wonderful thing. It's the only thing. I appreciate you for being vulnerable to me, to love, to spirit, to source, to God, and your willingness to look for and find that love everywhere. I love you very much, and I'll speak with you again soon.